stream because I've not made it to do any video for whatever I always do, the reactions on Dimwango and family, plus Nyabohanse at large. So I hope you'll be coming live. I know it's very late. And in case maybe you don't see the live, obviously just come and watch the video ongoing. Yeah, so today I'll not do for you the dance before the video because I'm doing live stream and I didn't prepare that part. Anyway, you see what is happening in Kenya, the politics, yeah? So politics are very hot in Kenya. Unfortunately, as I told you the previous day, grass is suffering as the elephants battle. Now, it has come to a point where politicians are very sensitive and anything posted about them becomes a reason to eliminate, to abduct, to do away with, you know. So Kenya has become a hub of crime, you know, justified crime, coups in parliament, coups in offices, coups in the leaders, coups everywhere. Now, it's unfortunate, and we've seen today fire in the city, citizens, you know, going to pull the bull by its horns because of what they are seeing around. Now, everybody who understands what is happening in Kenya, of course, the death of the young man, Ojwang Albert from Homa Bay, who is almost 31 years, triggered this move. For one reason, people believe that Lagat, the deputy inspector police, is a person of interest in matters that are unveiling, with the sins of commission or omission that led to the death of this guy. So I'll be checking here just to show you that situation as it was in Nairobi today, because I may not have time to do on this if I don't do it now. So let me just give you time and show you what happens here. Yeah, so I don't know what advice you can give to Kenya actually, but things are not very cool. Everything is bad. Yes, another, hi. I start my brain dumping everything I need to get done. Hi, how are you? Where are you from? Hello, scroll with me. Another, hi. I'm very fine here. So welcome on board, everybody. Scroll with me says I'm new here. Welcome and subscribe to the channel. Share my videos. I do reactions, entertainment, discussing two things, social and political. You've just seen the situation in Kenya today with riots all over, right? Yeah, so thank you. Scroll with me. So I'm going to be turning my screen every now and then just to show what happened in Kenya today. Situations were, you know, very hot because that's actually what happened. Just see this. Yeah, look at this. Yeah. Can you imagine? So guys, I just showed a little bit of that so that we come back and talk about what's happening in Kenya. Yeah. Thank you. Scroll with me. Thank you. Yeah, actually, whatever is happening, scroll with me, is that after the death of one blogger, Albert Ojwang from Homa Bay, yeah, he was collected from his home and put in a cell in Nairobi Central. The next day, when the father came about to rescue him, possibly give a land title deed to have him out, bailed out, he was found dead, you know. So he was taken to the morgue and the eyes were clogged. The eyes of the son were clogged. His head was injured. He had soft tissue injuries. And everything has gone haywire. were since then in Kenya. Now, people are demanding that the Inspector General, the Deputy General Inspector, should resign, and he's not willing to do so. So that's what's happening. Yeah, so I am in Kenya, of course, but I'm not in Nairobi. I'm in the outskirts. So situations are not very cool because many of our people are in the city, and when things go as they are, things are not very good. Yeah. So scroll with me, and another, and many others who are not coming to chat. Not very much, You can see from that video, it's evening. Yeah, it's evening, and things are still going on. Young people are still rioting, they're planning for more protests. Yeah, it's like it's going to be something running maybe for a week, until maybe the Deputy Inspector General steps down or resigns, and also Murkomen, the CS also. That's the demands that are being made. So if you saw today's video, especially Parliament aspect, you saw that many of the MPs and senators were demanding that the CS also steps down, because this case is going to take a while, the investigations, and they can't be very done, if people of interest are in that case. Nothing is going to be very clear. So this was the situation in Parliament. Let me just show you what happened in Parliament today. Yeah, with senators hurling, abuses at each other, and some looking like they're not willing to see what's happening on the ground, like they're ignoring whatever is happening. Let me just show you that, if you didn't see. Yeah. I'm protesting through virtual. Yeah. Because, I've made videos, demanding that people should be safe. People shouldn't be killed because of maybe posting whatever they post, because things that are happening in the country, not anyone sober can keep quiet about them. So some of us are protesting from, the virtual space. That is another space that we protest from, because as we release information, as we share what's happening, that is our protest ground. So let me just show you what happened in Parliament for those maybe who are going to see this, and you'll understand what I'm talking about, and how bad the situation is, in a manner that we have for once in Parliament, calling for order and demanding that the inspector police should resign. So keep coming, so that you see the situation on the ground in Kenya. This is how it was. Let me just turn this and see. So that, of course, again, the budgetary aspects are coming, and unfortunately it happens that we have plans that are not going to be too good. Remember the last year's protest, was something that led to a lot of death, again, of young people, because many of them felt like we were being pushed into paying a lot of tax, and they were like, no, this is too much for us. Like the price of some goods, which are compulsory, basic, necessary, were to be raised. And the tax was imposed on things to do with internet. Many young people have been hired using on internet, like academic writing, coming to content creation, and more others. So people are like, what's up? Why should Kenya really be such brutal? Leaders not caring about the citizens, just interested in personal demands, kind of selfish leadership. And so many young people protested. We actually understand, if you not scroll with me, you understand that if you went through the situation in Kenya that time, the young people decided to collaborate, especially those who were in college, and they went on to protest in the city, and many were abducted. Some of them died. Some have become motionless, like after coming out, they don't want even to show up, relate with people, talk about anything. That's what is happening. So I just don't know the end of this, but things are not very good in Kenya currently. So let me show something here that will take us to this. Normally people came, I saw like about 30 people here, and I don't know where are they going. That can be away from here. Yeah, I can answer that away from here, maybe. All right, let me just check whatever.
The fintech says that this will help boost funding to bridge the over 3.66 trillion shilling gap between agriculture's contribution.
Let me escape this. The National Assembly proceedings.
This was a 7-year.
Something to do with the resignation. Where is it? Let's see here. I'm looking for something just to show it briefly to the viewers. Welcome on board if you've not had a chat. Maybe being recognized, it's cool that you show up, so that I recognize you. Let me check here some of the proceedings. Here is it. Yeah, here it is.
Mr. Speaker, my first one is to CS Murkomen.
Yeah, so let me get it there.
Mr. Speaker, patriots in this country fought against detention without trial. And CS Murkomen, I assure you, they are going to fight against extrajudicial killings, especially within police custody. CS Murkomen, the National Security Council, where you sit, is charged with promoting and guaranteeing security of the country. And you have the audacity to come and face the Parliament of Kenya and tell Kenyans that you don't see, you don't know. CS Murkomen, please.
Yeah, so Murkomen there and Lagat there.
You are yet to grow a child up to the age of 31.
Yeah.
Can you immediately resign? You are not fit to be in that docket. Please, I beg you, it is not personal. And if you think I'm joking, you are a well-read man. You know that in 2011, in Tunisia, a street hawker by the name of Mohamed Bouzi was killed.
With this AI tool, you can turn your
so
story
you've seen that. So those were the kind of arguments. Those were the kind of arguments that went on in Parliament. Yeah, people requesting that Murkomen, the CS for security, should resign, or rather go to sports because he takes jokes in everything. Let me just find another person who spoke, and we see what do you think about this. What do you think about this? Yeah, let's see this. Who spoke here? So everyone wants to resign, then also want an entirely new leadership. Not every leader is that bad, but we have specific leaders who are not playing their role, or if they are, they do not care about the safety of Kenyans. Like Lagat as the deputy is a person of interest in this case. Why? This blogger dug out some information and gave a whistleblower about someone who had bought items, or rather assets, outside Kenya, assets that are very expensive, therefore it became questionable. And being a whistleblower as a blogger, he didn't know that they would come for his life. Unfortunately, it happened that his end had come. Of course, I'm going to show here partly that blogger, but everybody has heard about him. Yeah, so everyone wants him to resign. Yeah. So that, the CS, of course, is in charge of security. And if things like this are happening under his eye, why not? That's why people are throwing him under the bus, you know. That's why also people are holding Lagat, you know, accountable for the arrest and the death of a young man in police custody just one day after arrest. This has never happened. This situation has never happened. And they are kind of tampering. They wanted to tamper with evidence, regardless of the Central Police Station having CCTVs to show clearly what was happening. It seems that somebody deleted the footage. Yeah. So many people have come up because it was such a brutal act, you know. This is a young person whose parent has struggled 20 years to educate. He has now acquired a degree. He has a wife and one kid. So people are feeling it. This man came out crying. If you didn't see, I'll be showing here again. You know, I'll be showing here. Of course, that is something I should have started with, so that we are all aware. Let's just say this. Here it is. Yeah, so of course some people are joking around and indicating he had hit his head. When political military leadership fails, what are the most severe consequences for national security and public trust? Of course, the kind of situation we're meeting in Kenya, where many people are protesting, and even before that, we are a series of death, abduction. If you remember, last year we had the death of some young women and young girls and boys, you know, at the tender age, found their bodies were dumped at Kware, if you heard about that. Apart from that, we had so many who were abducted, especially university students, and their bodies were finally recovered maybe in dams, roads, riversides. Some were even found in sacks. Then there were situations of those who were arrested, and when they came out, they reported cases of trauma, you know, and there are some up to now, their families have never found them. So when a military leadership fails or political leadership fails, that's what happens to a country, chaos. And it affects the economy, it affects the education, health, and general value of a human being, you know. Like there are those who come up and they believed in killing, so they'll abduct. Yeah, cases of abduction have been very common. Now, let me just show you what happened to this young man here. The report from autopsy. Yeah, so let me get to see here. Yeah, so that was the autopsy report, right?
It's arguable about whether it's sequential, but the time span, it's within a short time. It could be same time, it could be within 1 day, 2 days, or several days, but it's difficult to tell and date them, temporarily, as in times of space.
A follow-up question. As an expert, I know the police gave some unreasonable reason as to why Ojwang died, saying he hit his head on the wall. As an expert and having examined the body, if that were to be the case, what signs would have been consistent with hitting one's head on the wall, and that the signs you've seen today completely
in the body, including the upper limbs under the trunk, then this is unlikely to be self-inflicted injury.
Yeah, so you can see how many people are asking questions there because, the first thing, in fact, the reason why Murkomen, yes, is being asked a lot of questions and being pressed to resign. Do you know what he said when they were in parliament and they were asking them questions? He said that they cannot let the deputy inspector resign when maybe the purported Ojwang might have died in the hands of criminal mob justice individuals. And I'm like, what? Mob justice? Does he know what mob? Yeah, so I lost connection just briefly, and that's what happened. So I couldn't go on, but I was saying the reason why people are very mad at Murkomen, yeah? You can see the father to this guy here. Sharing what happened, yeah? And yet, the CS comes out and says that possibly he died in a mob justice case, and they cannot incriminate the deputy inspector who is questionably being, investigated as a result of the death of this young man. So here is the father to the young man who passed on in the hands of the police. And so Nairobi Central Police has been labeled currently as the cruel place where they end lives. Remember, a week before they had arrested this lady who was sensitizing people about the budgetary negatives, and they had even refused to give her bail. But later on, after many Kenyans pressed, that's when they released him. So let's look at this as we proceed. Welcome on board. I'm very sorry it happened that there was a disconnection, but I've just come back, and thank you for coming back. So let's look at this. This is the father to the guy who died. And he reported in Kiswahili indicating how he has struggled to educate his son, and unfortunately, the son returns now in a sack. That's how we say it. Yeah, so let's look here. Let's just look at this. I want to turn the screen again so that you're seeing what I want you to see here. I don't know why the screen is really giving me trouble to reduce so that I'm able to show you what I want you to see. Real trouble, right? It's hanging. Yeah. So I just want to turn this, I don't know, whatever is happening. Hey, it can't allow me. Okay, you can hear here as I try to.
Kile kilichotokea hapa. Maana kilichotokea.
Yeah, this is the situation.
Ni kwamba nimeenda kushuhudia mwili wa kijana wangu umelazwa katika city mortuary. Jana walikuja maofisa wa polisi 6 muda wa saa 7 za mchana. Kama kijana wangu wametoka Ringa kuchukua miti ya kupanda. Kulikuwa kuna mvua. Ni msimu wa mvua. Sasa alipofika hapo, mama yake akampatia chakula hapo nje chini ya mti, na bibi yake akaenda hapo karibu na yeye na mtoto wake, watoto wangu na ndugu yangu wakawa wako na mimi na ndugu yangu mdogo hapo ndani ya nyumba. Baada ya muda ambao si mrefu tunaendelea kula, nikasikia ngurumo ya pikipiki na kuja. Kama kawaida yangu, mara nyingine wake ambao
OpenFloat lets you pay salaries to all your employees at once, send them airtime, and settle payments to mobile money and bank destinations simultaneously. We've partnered with your favorite service provider. Ni OCPD. Tuende huko kwenye ofisi ya OCPD kwa sababu ndiye mkubwa wake. Basi tukatii tukiwa pamoja na yule kijana na chaplain. Tulipoenda mpaka kwenye ofisi ya OCPD wakatukaribisha, tukatambuana na maafisa wengine wa polisi ambao walikuwa hapo. So kile nilichosikia ambacho alikuwa ananiambia bwana OCPD ya kwamba habari ambayo tuko nayo si nzuri sana. Sasa hiyo habari si nzuri sana ndio ikanishtua. Nikaanza kutafakari habari za huko nyuma zile ambazo zinatokea kwenye vyombo vya habari wakati kwa wakati, kwamba vijana huwa mara nyingine wanaangamia. So kwamba kijana ameaga, nikamjulisha pia yeye. Sasa ni hivyo. Hivyo. Kijana kufikia mwezi wa 7 atakuwa na miaka 31.
So guys, that is what disheartened a lot of people. As you can see in that video, the father to that young man was much aggrieved. And that was what disheartened people, that they began to demand, why did you kill him? Why couldn't he just be, tried, There should have been trial if indeed whatever he posted was such a grievous mistake based on the law. So people began to ask, and later on they were like, what is happening? Because now you connect that to whatever happened 2 weeks ago. 2 young men who were picked from Uasin Gishu, and their bodies were found dumped in Nakuru. There were again other cases of young people who were found dead elsewhere. So people are like, no, now it's becoming too much. Now, apart from those kind of situations, we have leaders who are being targeted, especially if they are in the opposition. So now that is what has aggrieved citizens and made them protest, as the situation is today in Kenya. Now let me show you the picture of this guy, because we're just showing the father and all that. Let me show you the picture. Let me see. Yeah, the picture is here. Sorry for keeping you waiting, but the picture is here. The picture is here. Look at that.
Hello, I'm Tururu, a 4-year-old female. And this is my friend Jok9.
Yeah, so we've seen that.
We are the Rockstar Giraffe.
Right.
I'd like to share the story of our incredible journey.
There is this, whenever you pop into something else comes, I don't know. Yeah, so that's the situation. We are hoping for the best, But thank you for keeping me live. If you are on up to now, I'll be doing live streams on and off often, and I've been doing them. So thank you for those who came online, and thank you for those who chatted. Thank you for those who liked. If you've not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. Adios and have a good night. I want to end this, so let me just see on what to do here, because I want to end it.